Imagine this. A guy named Daniel earns $120,000 a year. He drives a nice car, lives in a modern apartment, wears decent clothes, and takes a vacation every summer. From the outside, he looks like he has it figured out, but here's the thing nobody sees. Daniel has $400 in his savings account. His credit card is almost maxed out. And every single month, no matter how much he earns, he ends up with almost nothing left over. He's rich on paper, broke in real life. And the crazy part, Daniel is not alone. Millions of people are living this exact life right now, earning good money, looking financially comfortable, but secretly one bad month away from a real crisis. So what's actually going on here? Why do so many people earn more and more, but never actually build any real wealth? The answer has almost nothing to do with math and everything to do with psychology. Here's what most people believe about money. They believe that if they just earned more, everything would be fine. More salary means more savings. More savings means more security. It sounds logical. It sounds obvious. But here's what actually happens in real life. When people earn more, they spend more. The apartment gets upgraded. The car gets newer. The restaurants get fancier. The wardrobe gets bigger. Life just quietly inflates. And before they even realize it, their expenses have risen to perfectly match their new income. Economists call this lifestyle inflation. But honestly, you don't need a fancy term for it. You've probably felt it yourself. Remember when you thought, if I could just make X amount, I'd be set, and then you got there, and somehow it still didn't feel like enough. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. And understanding why it happens is the first step to breaking out of it. There's a concept in psychology called hedonic adaptation. It basically means that humans are wired to get used to things fast. Buy a new phone. You're excited for a week. Then it's just your phone, move into a nicer place. You love it for a month. Then it's just where you live. Our brains constantly reset to a new normal. And this is exactly why a raise never feels like enough for very long. Whatever you have right now eventually becomes the baseline, and your brain starts looking for the next upgrade. Now, combine that with something called social comparison. We don't measure our success in a vacuum. We measure it against the people around us. Your neighbor gets a new car, and suddenly yours feels old. Your colleague gets promoted and takes a nicer vacation, and suddenly yours feels small. This is not about being greedy or shallow. This is literally how human brains are wired, built for comparison, built for adaptation. And when you mix hedonic adaptation with lifestyle inflation, you get a trap, a very comfortable, very invisible trap. Here's a simple way to see it. Imagine two people. Ahmed earns $50,000 a year and spends $38,000 in Sarah earns $110,000 a year and spends on $8,000 on. Who's building wealth? Ahmed, by a mile. Even though Sarah earns more than double his salary, the gap between what she earns and what she spends is almost nothing. That gap, that small but powerful space between income and expenses, is where wealth actually lives. Wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. Here's the deeper idea that most people never talk about. We live in a world that is designed to make you spend. Every ad, every social media post, every buy now, pay later button is engineered to shrink that gap between your income and your expenses. And the smarter you are, the more sophisticated the marketing that targets you. There's actually a term for this, the wealth illusion. It's when you look wealthy without actually being wealthy. You have the symbols of success, the clothes, the car, the lifestyle, but none of the actual financial security underneath it. And the dangerous part is that the wealth illusion feels fine right up until it doesn't. It feels fine until the job disappears, until the medical bill arrives, until the economy shifts, and then suddenly the gap between the image and the reality becomes impossible to ignore. Here's what's even more interesting from a psychological standpoint. Research shows that people who consistently build wealth, the ones who are genuinely financially secure, often look less wealthy than people who are broke. They drive average cars. They live in sensible homes. They don't make financial decisions based on what looks impressive. They make decisions based on what builds. Morgan Housel, one of the best writers on money psychology, puts it simply, spending money to show people how much money you have is the fastest way to have less of it. Real wealth is the money you don't spend, the investments you don't show off, the financial cushion nobody knows about. So what do you actually do with all of this? First, understand that the problem isn't your income. Earning more without changing behavior just creates a bigger version of the same problem. You need to protect the gap. Here's a simple starting point. Before lifestyle creeps in after a raise, automate a portion of that extra money directly into savings or investments before you ever see it in your account. Pay your future self first, then live on what's left. Second, start separating your identity from your spending. This is the psychological work that most financial advice skips. If you're buying things to feel successful or to signal success to others, you are renting the feeling of wealth without actually building it. Ask yourself one question before any non-essential purchase. Am I buying this because I want it or because of how it makes me look? That one question asked consistently will save you more money than any budgeting app ever will. And third, measure your wealth differently. Instead of looking at what you earn, start looking at what you own minus what you owe. That number, your net worth, is the only scoreboard that actually matters, not your salary, not your car, not your zip code. Daniel, the guy we started with, eventually figured this out, not because he got a huge raise, not because he won anything, but because he stopped trying to look wealthy and started trying to become wealthy. He closed the gap slowly, steadily, and quietly. Nobody noticed the change on the outside, but the $400 in his savings account turned into an emergency fund, then into investments, then into real financial breathing room. That's what actual wealth looks like. Not a car, not a lifestyle, a number on a spreadsheet that grows while you sleep. So here's the question I want to leave you with. Are you building wealth? Or are you building the appearance of wealth? Because one of those will protect you when life gets hard, and the other one won't. Think about that. If this hit different, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more videos like this on money, psychology, and building real wealth, you know what to do.